This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. And this opening kickoff will not even reach the landing zone. It hits short of the 20, so that's going to move the ball out to the 40-yard line. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They go play action now. Jackson rolling to his left. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do. But when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Henry. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
A first down carry for Henry. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They go play action with Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Finds his man. It's Kohler. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Play action. Now Jackson on the move to his left. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. We're scoreless after 1. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Inside handoff, Henry. And he stopped immediately there. Lucas Van Ness in there on the tackle. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
I like the call. It looked like the right time to dial up a running back screen. But this one got disrupted right from the start and ends up falling incomplete.
Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on third down conversions, but they need a full 10 yards here. From the gun, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Red, yellow.
To throw now. Here's Love. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Still going. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Ready, set.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack.
Hurry, hurry.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Love. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go. Black Ultra. Set, go.
Here's Love. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On now is the Packers punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return is Sims. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Crossing route, he finds Likely. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
Steps away to his left. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. In motion, the tight end. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Back to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
White. Ready?
Following the interception, Love. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Blue check. Come on, set. Hey, hey, blue. Red, cycle. Set.
Love now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on first and second down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on third down.
Ready, ready. Hey, green. Black shot. Ready?
Love. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a fourth down.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. 10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. To pass, here's Jordan Love. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Watch out now, 50 Fury. Drill, 52. Hut.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Flag blue. Drill green. Hut.
Throwing. Love. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown, Packers. Tucker Kraft, 30 yards. And the Packers have got it back to within a score. Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Henry up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. On target to his man, Likely. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for a Raven 1st down, 15 yards there. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff to Henry. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Steps away. Pass out left, finds Kohler. And that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. He was out there waving his arms. And when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'll try to run for the 1st with Henry. And just shutting him off there. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run for it with Henry. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Set. Hut.
Love looking to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here's 2nd down.
Let's go now. Go red. Claws red. Hut, hut.
Now Love. Able to connect with Jacobs. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
Blue, go. Edo blue. Blue striker. Green jack. Ready.
Here's Love. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
Now Jackson. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Jackson to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down.
Built on the site of a former piano factory, there's been plenty of music made on the field here in the decades since it opened back in 1998. Welcome, everyone, to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Ball is teed up. Chris Boswell to do the honors. And we're underway from the bank. His return starts at the 5. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. Jackson looking to throw right away. Complete, Derrick Henry. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was first down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Hey, Alpha, sit hot. Sit hot.
Lamar off the play fake. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the Steelers take over after returning it inside the red zone. Wow, what an exciting start to this game, Brock. Apologies to the former QB and you. It's not an opening drive touchdown, but an interception instead.
Yeah, exciting for one side. That would be the defense. Demoralizing for the other side as an offense. First salvo, listen, it goes to the defense. And now it really sets the stage for what I love and what you love, Kate. In this game of adjustments, in the game of back and forth, who's going to respond next?
Touch 50, touch 50. Touch hot.
First snap, and Wilson wants to throw. And his first pass falls incomplete. Couldn't find Mike Williams on that throw. And now they face second down. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock. But down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
He's keeping it. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Russell Wilson with the touchdown. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. A lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically, and a lot of answers have to be found defensively.
Chris Boswell for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Go. Finish it on. You are X. You are X.
Play action. Here's Jackson. Hauled in left side. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
This is caught by Isaac. They get to him, and he loses the football. It's out. Steelers have it, headed the other way. Wow, oh wow. He sent his offense out twice now, and both times they fumbled it away. I'm not sure who's more aggravated, the dudes down there or the dude next to me up here.
Well, I'm aggravated, but I know the guy on the field wants to put the offense in the doghouse. Like, all of them right now. This can't happen in the NFL, Kate. And a lot of guys out there, they got to be looking to one another. Hold each other accountable to hold on to the ball.
They gain 14 on the play. And it'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. Russ now from the gun. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. Wilson now from the gun. It's caught. That's Mike Williams. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. Mike Williams, the touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period, end of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
That one splits the uprights. And the Steelers drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. He's going to field this at the 2. Only manages to get this back to the 20 before he's taken down. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Yo.
Play fake, Jackson. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down. Working quickly here. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And no look there, and that throw falls to the ground. This one intended for the running back. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Bails out of the pocket quick. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. And again, it's Jackson. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
The Ravens going to punt this away, and here's Jordan Stout to handle that boot. And this is the first time he's been called on today. Fair catch, hauled in at the 18-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Steelers will take over deep on their own side. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Zebra.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Seeing some early game planning at work here, Brock. They were quick to attack that throw and break it up.
Yeah, this defense knows the importance this offense places on throwing the ball to their tight ends, and they were ready for it and all over it.
Wilson's got it. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. It was Marcus Williams in on that stop. 3rd and 6 for them to figure out now. Shotgun snap for Wilson. This ball's caught by Pickens. And he's got a decent game. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They are looking at 4th down, however. Going for it with Warren. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. And that That run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs.
You know, it's almost like the defense heard that call in their helmet themselves. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And their reward is getting off the field.
Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They'll run now on second down. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a third down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Handoff headed right to Henry. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Now Jackson off the play action. Flushed out of the pocket. And he takes it down to the 2, but no touchdown yet. He's out of bounds.
Well, the QB made something happen and got some yardage when the play didn't develop right, and even got himself out of bounds to avoid a hit. The only negative at all is he couldn't quite get the first down.
They go play fake with Jackson. Rolling out to his left. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Baltimore! The Ravens start to fight back with their first points of this game. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Tucker able to tack on the extra point. And the Ravens chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Cordarrelle Patterson now to return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Completed over the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. Warren here from the gun. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. First down, and they go right back to him. And they'll have to swallow a loss on the play as he's touched down behind the line. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. 2nd and 13. He's on the move. Completed here to Pickens. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. Offense up to the line fast. First down, here's Russ. And that's a Pittsburgh touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
Boswell to add the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Steelers double their lead to 14. Now Boswell on to send this away. And no return here, and this is a touchback, and the ball's going to come out to the 20. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Lamar now from the gun. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Chased out to his right. They'll get this to Henry. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Tackled by the venerable Cameron Hayward. Now the Ravens are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. And the Steelers going for the dime look on 3rd down. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Baltimore. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Even from the booth, Kate, I could hear it. I could hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
So he sends this one out of bounds, and that's going to put the upcoming drive at the 35-yard line. A little less than 30 seconds to go as they begin this drive. On 1st down, it's Wilson. Escapes the pocket. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. The Steelers calling their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Into the hands of Pat Fryermuth. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Wilson now, 1st and 10. And this won't be caught. Clock is going to stop. We've got 14 seconds to go.
With all due respect to some of the great linebackers back in the day, to play the position today, man, you've got to be versatile. You can't just be a come up and stuff the run. You got to play coverage. And these defenses more and more rely on you to break up throws just like that.
And he's going to be taken down near the 8-yard line. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Steelers stretch their lead to 21. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Return starts at the 3. And this drive will start inside the 25. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on 1st down.
Hey!
Throwing it just before halftime. He puts some air under this one, deep run. Lays out for this one. Oh, what a catch! So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock Heward with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. Patterson now to return it. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. They're out and set. 1st and 10.
12. Cut. 14. Cut.
Rush coming for Wilson. This is ahead for about 5. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
You know, I often say there is a fine line between aggressiveness and carelessness. And when you throw into double coverage, well, it can go either way. That time, a tremendous catch by his receiver on the other end.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5.
14, got it. Cut.
From the 29. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Looking for George Pickens that time. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Well, Brock, this substantial deficit sure hasn't toned the edge that this defense is playing with, huh? If anything, feels like they might be getting more aggressive, looking to make some sort of impact play.
And that's because turnovers are really the name of the game for this defense at this point, Kate. That aggressiveness still super welcome, no question. But they know it's not just incompletions, it's taking the ball away that's next.
This one goes for an even 25 yards. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks, that's the trust, and then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Russ is cooking again. That throw finds Pickens. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Taking the handoff. Now Wilson. That's to the sideline. It's a catch by Williams. And he's out of bounds, a little short of the 10. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him, only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
Wilson with it on 1st. On the move, headed right. Oh, he nearly reeled that in, as close as you can get, but just an exciting incompletion.
You know, I don't mind taking that risk, especially on early downs. You try to shot downfield, it doesn't work. But Kate, the good news, you got 2 more downs to try to find a 1st.
An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Shotgun handoff to Warren. Breaks the tackle, still going. Decent gain here, but short of the 1st. Offense in the hurry up here.
Let's go double count right here, double count. Run it.
Fourth down, here's Wilson. He finds him beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Oh, so close to getting off the field. But the 4th down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession, to sit on the bench, to get their breath. But now they're going to have to buckle down and force another 4th down.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. The defense calls a timeout, so that's their first. 4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They'll run with Harris. And the pursuit gets there to escort him out at the line of scrimmage. No gain for them, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line in the defense.
And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Steelers put up even more points in a win. Najee Harris, the touchdown. Well, we've been saying it for years, Brock. If at first you don't succeed, try that run again.
You're exactly right. It's going to take more than one stop to deter those offensive coaches from calling another run play. They've got such faith in their group up front to leverage right at the point of attack and punch it in on the 2nd time around.
Well, they don't get it, but just the choice to go for it there, Brock, as I'm looking to my right, seeing a partner kind of fuming, a little steam coming out of the head. I'm sure you and many others maybe aren't a fan of that call.
I don't feel like I'm that old. I really don't.
You don't look that old.
Well, thank you. But, yeah, this still just gets me, and I know many others every single time.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Look at this. The wideout gets it to start this drive. Has room down the left sideline. And he finally ends up out of bounds after a huge gain. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Yeah, when you got a game changer as a wide receiver, you want to get the ball in his hands any way you can. And I love that call. Right, we see it all the time on bubbles and quick little receptions. But put the ball in his hands as a runner, and this dude's dynamic.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal.
Go. 180. Shut up.
They'll run here with Henry. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
180. Shut up.
Once more, here's Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens making the scoreboard look a touch better. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. And he wasn't chancing a return there, putting it out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. They'll start on the ground here with Warren. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Working quickly here. On 2nd down, Warren. And he'll get them enough for a first down. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. First down, Steelers.
Ross off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
You're just not going to win many games in this league when you can't generate a pass rush until the 4th quarter. You needed to feel the impact from this defense earlier and more often in this game. The lack thereof, well, it's a big part of what's put them playing from behind in the final stanza of this one.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Trying again, following the sack. And this one too far in front of him. It's incomplete.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting the completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got third down. Russ now from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on fourth. Shotgun snap for Wilson. He's going deep. And that one's going to be knocked away, and that's going to force a change in possession. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Play action. Here's Jackson. Buying some time left. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him.
And he's going to score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens get it back to within 2 possessions. That was just gorgeous football right there. He saw the window, just had to wait for his guy to flow toward it, and that pass fit in beautifully for the touchdown.
Kate, this is one of those moments where a quarterback's got to take his pre-snap read and make sure he confirms it quickly post-snap. And when he does, and he's got space to fit that post in, like you said, it's a thing of beauty.
Tucker on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Ravens drop the lead back to 13. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Patterson now to return it.
Recovered by the receiving team.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. Got Williams, and it's complete. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. Wow, they're going to pass it here. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10 from the 41. Blitz coming, Russ. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Sticking in the air with Wilson. That's caught in stride by Freiermuth. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Throwing again. Here's Wilson. Freiermuth there to bring it in. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. Timeout taken by the offense. Their second. Options are open here. It's second and inches. Wilson to throw again. Throwing deep for the end zone. And got his man. That's a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers making a 3-score game in the fourth. George Pickens the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. Once more, it's Wilson. And that one's caught. Add a couple more on to this massive, some might say insurmountable lead here in the fourth. Now Boswell on to send this away. Very short kick taken at the 19. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. First and 10. Lamar now from the gun. Trying to push it deep downfield. And that one is incomplete, and the clock stops with 18 seconds to go. That was Zay Flowers, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Throwing again is Lamar. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he got this close to midfield before going out. First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Shotgun snap to Jackson. A bit of desperation on this deep shot. This is caught inside the 15. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens get it back to within 2 possessions. Zay Flowers, the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up. You can find pay dirt.
Tucker adds the PAT. And the Ravens get it back to a 14-point game. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They'll get this drive started. First and 10.
Hey, alert.
Wilson now from the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Now 4 seconds left. We've got a timeout. Not that the final play is going to change the outcome, but we will get one more snap. Another try following the sack. It's taken in by Williams. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And Brock, we all know any win is a good win, but playing against a division rival, oh, it always feels so much better dealing them one in the L column.
These are the teams that know you best, Kate, but also the ones that you know best. So, yes, it is just a little bit sweeter when you take care of business in your own division.
So for Brock Heward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Baltimore.